Hello everyone, and I welcome you on the part 3 of our AI implementation crash course, where we speak about how to implement AI in your specific business, how to build your first AI automation, and how to understand how to make it right without any specific technical knowledge, without any overcomplicated stuff, or maybe huge amount of ready to build and unknown with the budget, templates, etc. So today we will speak about our next part, which is working with a list of problems we gathered on the previous lesson. You've already done a huge work and you probably already understand that something is not working properly in my business, and this is the situation, and now you are dealing with the truth. And now this is the positive point, because basically you can now see that, hey, this is the situation, this is the way it is, and I can do something with that. I can improve that. I can find the solution and do better. So let's go back to our key concept, which we discussed previously, is problem, process, and automation. So we gathered the specific list of problems, which is actually the part 1. And it is super important, because basically without doing that, you won't understand which actually processes you have in your business. And as a result, you won't have the ability to automate them and solve. The main problem of that is because most people just try to juggle with these free templates or maybe ready to work solutions. They go to the experts and tell that, hey, I need to build this super complicated stuff. And after building that, it turns out that they do not need that, because the process and the problems are completely different and the outcome should be completely different to them. And this is the main point. So after gathering the list of problems, it will narrow down your specific list of focus points, which you need to look through and analyze in order to solve and start solving your first issues in the business with the help of automation. Let's speak about common mistakes upon automation, right? And why not many people just succeed in that. This is from our 20 years of experience with working with different businesses from different geographies, from multiple companies, etc. So first is automating chaos. So basically this is like the syndrome of entrepreneur or the inventor, when you go to the specific field or the specific department and say, hey, now I see and understand general situation upon the state of things. Let's do all automation. Let's go all in, baby, and start with everything. And you actually try to automate everything, starting from check-ins to sending emails, then content creation, then sending the invoices to customer, etc., etc. The list goes on and on. This mistake leads you to spreading your resources, your time, money, and efforts from your team, and it super demotivates peers from your side, because basically in most cases they're affected by these changes. First, they get accustomed to the specific processes which working for an extended period of time and some period of time, right? And now you are going to the department and say, hey, now we will live completely different life, guys. And what will be as a result? So they will sabotage everything. They will present you with the problems, with some unknown things which might happen, and you can actually be distracted again. And as a result, you won't receive the outcome you would like to in order to solve this thing and be better professional, be better business, be better freelancer, manager, and person. Second, starting with the hardest thing. This is what we were speaking about last time. So basically, we are not trying to build the star rocket or SpaceX rocket on Mars, right? And because first, we do not need and have so much resources in our situation. Usually, if you are owning the business and you're not a multinational corporation, you don't have million budgets, right? And 2 to 5 years of implementing them and thousands of employees to do. If you have, congratulate you, a lucky guy. But usually we are limited. And if we spend tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars for the automation, and you will spend like create custom CRM and custom solutions for ourselves, and it will take like 1 or 2 years. The market can change, the product shifts, target audience can like completely change their buying intents or habits, because we are moving so fast that you need to implement the specific solutions really fast and with the least amount of resources. That's why this was one of the criteria on our previous episode while we were gathering the list of problems for our first automation. Connecting with the second one, so building custom solution instead of simple tools. There are some people who can actually overcomplicate stuff. So basically, instead of like taking the ready-made or like simple solution for the problem, they would like to go all in into complicated stuff, creating super specific systems for their businesses. Of course, there are cases when you need to do that, and I totally agree with this. But in most cases, in order to get positive results, and we all remember this Pareto principle, like 20-80 principle, right? In order to receive 80% of the results, you do not need to spend like 80% of resources sometimes. You just need to use your resources and the information wisely. And the last but not least is skipping the process step. This is the most important part before like automation and after the gathering of the problems. Why is that? Because basically we all remember this step by step, right? Problems, process, automation. If you just understand the problem and you say that, hey, I have the problem that customers are not paying, right? And I need to automate something like that. You will be in trouble because basically you can ask your team or you can ask the freelancer, the worker to do the automation for you, but eventually it will be changed like 10 or 20 times. Why is that? Because basically the person can build you the automation based on your technical specification, no worries with that, but it won't be suitable to your specific needs in your business. And what I mean by that is it is not suited for the business process. So business process is actually the specific set of instructions or the steps which can be repeated with a specific outcome and predictable outcome for your business. We are going to the next step, and the main point of this episode is basically mapping your processes. So basically, let's take some example. You do some kind of the project for the client, right? It can be the construction project, or it can be the outsourcing project, creating websites, designs, copywriting, etc. So basically you do some work and then you need to finish and show this work to the client, right? Receive the money from the invoice. So basically the simple process can be like finishing the work and sending the invoice to the client, right? And we need to understand while we are mapping our processes of what exactly are we doing here. So we need to gather the information. So we gather the information with the specific templates and with the specific information to the client. We prepare and structure that in order to send. Then where we are doing this? So maybe it can be our internal system, maybe it can be Office 365, or it can be Google spreadsheets or Google Docs. So you need to understand that. And how often? So basically, if it is a repeatable process and we constantly do the reporting to our clients and preparing the invoices, probably it can be like once per month or twice per month. And there are certain specific instructions to the person, specific directions, right, to the team of how to do that. So basically, you need to go there, you need to do this, this, and this, then you need to put this into that and send to the client. So these are specific processes and specific instructions. The more information you will find in your workbook, there are some examples and some questions for you to understand how you can do this with the highest efficiency to map your processes for your problems. And now we are going to our action plan for this module. And basically what I would ask you to do is map your processes. Probably you will have like the list of 15, 20, or maybe 40, 50 problems in your business which you all want to solve. I would recommend you to pick 5 of them, which you think are the most important based on the criteria we discussed on the second module. If you haven't seen that, go there and rewatch that. You also have the information in your workbook, which is available when you sign up in the free community. The link in the description if you are watching this in the YouTube. If you are in the community already, you will have the file below the video. And you need to pick up 3 to 5 of them. And don't forget to share the process with the community for the feedback. Why is that? Because basically it is speed up your process so much. We have the experts in the community who can help you with your problems, your automations, and you also have peers who have the same or similar problems in their own businesses, in their geographies. We have the multinational community, right, with different geographies. And you will understand that first, you are not alone with this problem. Second, maybe you will have and find out some ideas already for your implementations and for your business processes, which you haven't thought of before. And they can be better that your team or maybe you searched for. And this is the power of community, and this is why we are doing that. So I highly recommend you to do this and ask more questions to your peers and experts in order to get as much positive thing and efficiency from this course as you possibly can. So this is the wrap up of our episode. Don't forget to do your actions because they are the most important. See you soon, guys, in next episode.